And so we're ready to go, live from Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. At stake, the undisputed middleweight championship of the world.
There's the jab from Hagler, and that's a punch that he will need tonight if he's to win against Durán.
Durán working the body of Hagler, and he gets a warning from the referee to watch it. We're halfway through the opening round. A bit of a right hand by Durán on the chin of Hagler was a glancing blow.
For those people who claim that Hagler would be awed by this event, this is the time when it would affect him. He would be tight in the first round and perhaps be hurt, as Duran hurt Leonard early in their fight. Gave a thumb to Davey Moore early in their fight, whether intentional or not. It blinded Moore's vision and helped him win that fight, and the Hagler camp very concerned about that tonight.
We haven't had any eruptions as yet. Durán with a short left hand. Hagler with a left hand of his own to the side of Duran's face. Hagler there showing the stiff jab and then the left cross to the head of Durán.
And so it'll be incumbent upon Hagler, as he blocks that right, to use the uppercut effectively on the inside, as he's doing right there.
Hagler working with the free left hand there as Durán was holding on. Just past the halfway mark of round 2. Hagler with a left hand to the head of Durán. That straightened him up. It looks like Hagler's having no problem moving Durán. Hagler comes from downstairs with an uppercut. As the champion, Hagler, is starting to unwind. Durán with a right hand to the head of Hagler. Hagler seems intent on getting off first. That right hand by Durán was short on the chest of Hagler. A left to the stomach by Durán as Hagler missed and was out of position.
It's his defensive skills that I think will make this fight for him. Now on the inside, Hagler doing most of the punching.
Durán insists that he's in tip-top shape. He trained for most of the summer. Hagler did the same. Hagler just brought a right uppercut onto the face of Durán. Less than a minute to go in round 3. Durán with a left to the head. Hagler with a right to the head of Durán. Hagler with a big left hand that rocked Durán. Durán with a right uppercut. Durán moments ago ducked underneath an express train of a left hand by Hagler. Hagler caught nothing but air.
And they are both smiling at each other at alternate times during these rounds. There's the jab and the left hand by Hagler. That's what he wants to get in. So far, Durán, while Hagler hasn't landed much, Duran's going for all those feints. Right hand by Durán. Hagler with a left to the body. That backed up Durán for an instant. A big swat of a left hand by Hagler, the kind of jab that decked Caveman Lee in the first round. And I guess that's the most important weapon for him in this fight. If he can land it, he'll be very effective. We're halfway through the fourth. Durán with the right hand, and Hagler didn't even move. A right hand by Durán. Right on the butt. That caught Hagler on the chin. Less than a minute to go in round 4. A right to the body by Durán, but he paid the price. Hagler countered with a left hook to the head. Both fighters in the first 3.5 rounds. Less than 30 seconds to go in the rounds. Hagler with a bit of a left hand. Durán with a right hand in response. And there he does it. As soon as I said he hadn't done it, he switches to the righty stance. Left hook to the head from the righty stance by Marvin Hagler. In the workouts every day, Hagler fought several rounds right-handed to be sharp, to be able to show Durán that he can go both ways. And Hagler with a right hook from the lefty stance rattled Roberto Durán. And he landed a good uppercut just before that. So he's starting to get the hand speed unlimited, and Hagler looks a little looser here in round 5. We point that out because you should not be misled by the cheers of the crowd. Good Hagler with a right hand, Durán with a right hand. Hagler comes back with a straight left to the head. Less than a minute to go in the round. Durán gets away with a low blow out of the view of the referee. And neither fighter working that effectively on the inside. They trade body shots. Right hand by Durán, and that was right on the chin of Hagler, but he's not hurt. And there's the bell marking the end of the 5th round.
This is a tactical fight, and the experts were divided on who they thought would win if it became this kind of fight.
A left hand by Hagler. Duran shakes his head, no, I'm not hurt. A couple of jabs there by Hagler had put Duran off balance and wide open for the shot. Duran with a right hand after he was hit by a right by Hagler.
He can land often in the righty stance. There's the good jab by Hagler. A good right by Hagler. This is the way he needs to be in this fight.
A hard jab by Hagler from the orthodox stance. Hagler with a left hook to the head. Hagler switches to lefty, goes to righty. And they're in the center of the ring now. Duran not been able to make full connections as much as Hagler. Hagler here applying some pressure. He's gone into another gear.
And it's Hagler on the inside, not Duran, who's dominating the action as many people thought.
Hagler now digging in now, throwing shots, and he is catching Duran. Duran still coming forward. Big right hand by Hagler from the righty stance. That was his best punch. There's no question in this round, Hagler made up his mind to start to drill Duran, and he has approached Duran from a different philosophy, and that is he has turned into slugger here. He was boxing Duran earlier in the fight. Duran is flat-footed, breathing hard, less than 30 seconds to go in the sixth, and Hagler is digging in and throwing shots from his heels.
The first real middleweight that Duran has faced, and he's finding out how powerful Hagler is.
Hagler with the left hand, another left hand. In between, Duran missed with an uppercut. Hagler comes out righty.
Landing even better as a righty than his right jab was landing when he was southpaw.
Right hand lead by Hagler from the orthodox stance. Hagler with a left hook to the head. Both fighters smiling at each other.
He has been the one who's been dominant when they are inside. Good lead right by Hagler.
And you can hear that across the ring. Hagler pushing Duran to a fast pace here. He wants Duran to work hard. Hagler out-punching Duran here in the seventh as he did in the sixth, and Duran seems undismayed.
Hagler dominated all the early rounds, as he may be doing here against Duran. Ran out of gas, got frustrated when the Firma wouldn't go down. Will that happen in this fight if Duran can take it the full 15?
It is Hagler who's got Duran against the ropes. They're at close range, and Hagler rumbling pretty well. A right hand by Duran at the bell. We are approaching the halfway mark of the fight. Al, I want your impressions about how one man has been able to prevail his will over the other, or has that occurred?
More out of technical abilities than anything else. He is simply a better boxer than Duran has faced in recent times. Duran himself has avoided being hit really flush by Hagler, and now Hagler turns to righty, and watch how effective he is when he turns to this stance.
He made a pivot move and brought that left hook to the head. He just did it twice.
And Marvin wants to fight on the inside with Duran. Unlike what people thought, he's ripping shots to the body and the head.
After spirited 6th and 7th rounds, it's quiet here in the 8th. In round 8, there's always the problem of the butt.
And of course, Hagler himself has occasionally been guilty, as he was in his second fight with Firma, of using his head as a weapon.
Because of Hagler's ability to punch in bunches. Hard jab there by Hagler. Yet another one. A countering right hand by Duran. Duran comes out flat-footed for round number 9. A wide stance. It looks like Duran here wants to really rumble. He wants to get Hagler at close quarters.
Change up and use that often.
Hagler looks like he's ready to accommodate Mr. Duran if he wants to go toe-to-toe here at close quarters. Another right hand blocked by Hagler. Hagler with a 3-punch combination on the head of Duran.
Hagler slipping the jabs and pounding the body of Roberto Durán.
Then he came upstairs with some uppercuts. Hagler said he learned a great lesson from that controversial draw. He knew he ran out of gas down the final 5 rounds. He said he learned how to train
And so far, no indication that Hagler is slowing the tempo. Good counter hook by Durán. It has no impact on Hagler.
Hagler threw a lead left hand, and Durán came with that countering hook. Less than a minute to go in the round.
Hagler continues also to work the body very effectively.
Hammering right hand by Durán on the head of Hagler.
This fight has ebbed and flowed on a number of different occasions. Right now, again, it's a chess match as they look for an opening. Good jab, double jab by Hagler, and he's gotten that punch on track since the second round.
Three-punch combination, then later some body work. That was the major noise in an otherwise. There's the bell for round 10.
And as a righty, I still maintain Hagler has done his best work. Look at on the inside. This is where Durán was supposed to win, but instead it's Hagler.
Admonishment to Durán by the referee for a low blow.
And for all the hassles over the referee, Stanley Christodoulou has played a minor role in this fight.
They're on the inside here in round 10.
And Durán has come up too many weight divisions, would appear to be the case on the inside. Hagler appears strong there.
Durán has slowed down somewhat. Chopping right hand by Durán, another one, and Hagler drills him with a right. Another low blow by Roberto Durán. As I count him, that's number 5.
Still no points being taken away, however, by Christodoulou. I think Durán is slowing down discernibly here in round 10.
And a right hand by Durán. Just when he was backing up, Hagler walked right into it. Less than 30 seconds to go in the 10th. Right hand high in the head of Hagler is very much in this fight.
Well, he's still upright anyway, and that gives him a chance.
A hard left hand by Hagler. Durán came back with his own right. And it appears right now that Durán cannot hurt Hagler. Hagler with a big left hand at the bell, and Durán gives him a mean look.
Isn't it better for Hagler to put the pressure on Durán? Get him tired, working these last few rounds, but Hagler obviously has it in his mind to box in this 11th round. Hagler's preoccupation with the judging would dictate that he might not fight this way in the later rounds, but he is doing it, risking what he feels might be bias on the part of the judges against him.
Referee once again lets them battle their way out of the clinch with less than 30 seconds to go in the 11th.
Step back.
Certainly the quietest round of the fight.
After going toe-to-toe in the middle rounds.
They told him too much movement in the last round, and he takes care of it by going right to Durán.
As champion, Hagler hasn't been this far before. Right hand by Durán on Hagler's head.
He certainly picked up the pace on the inside, what we expected early from him.
Durán with a right uppercut. There's swelling underneath the left eye of Hagler.
This is starting to have some of the earmarks of the first Anna Fermo fight. Marvin tiring a little bit, and perhaps letting Durán back in this fight. And of course, that swelling under the left eye a factor now. Good uppercuts by Hagler.
In the first 20 seconds of this round, Hagler has been a tremendous force here. Hagler is cut.
But here in round 14, despite the sneering, it's been Hagler on the inside dominating the action, as you see him doing right there.
Big left hand by Hagler on the chin of Durán, but Durán is okay, so okay, he sneered again at Hagler. Durán now sensing that we only have a few ticks left on the clock, trying to get close enough, trying to get some punching room, but it's all Hagler down the stretch. Hagler with a big right hook and a left cross. Hagler takes a right hand from Durán.
To the head of Roberto Durán.
20-odd seconds to go in the fight. Left hand by Hagler, and Roberto Durán drilled Hagler with his own right. 15 seconds to go. Two warriors, two champions, going the full 15 rounds. And he rocks Hagler with the right hand, Hagler with the left, as we head for the bell.
For the winner by unanimous decision, and still the elegant disputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Thomas Hearns came in right at the limit of 154 pounds as we see the referee Carlos Padilla giving the instructions, and Roberto Durán at 153 1/4. Carlos Padilla is the referee. He will not score. Harry Gibbs from England, Newton Campos from Brazil, Hans Bear from Belgium will be the scoring judges on the 10-point must system. 9 or fewer points to the loser of a round.
And Roberto Durán has a real heavy beard. In most states, that's illegal. I'm surprised that Emanuel Stewart didn't complain to the commission about that.
Well, Thomas Hearns has a real light beard, so well, so far the beard championship has gone to Roberto. But your point is quite well taken, Gil, and we'll see if it has some effect that you can pick up in terms of Hearns landing his blows to the face of Durán. A little tentative here in the early going, and Durán having a little problem with the canvas in this early going, has already slipped a little bit twice. .90 degrees at the time of the bell for the first round here in Las Vegas, with the sun starting to sink in the west. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy, round 1 scheduled for 12, remember, under WBC rules, a 12-round title bout.
Tommy Hearns should be working that jab overtime. Instead, he's looking to land the big bomb, and he landed a good right hand.
A good right hand to the ear of Durán that sent him back into the ropes. First, the Macho Durán quickly saying, "It didn't hurt me." There's that left jab of Hearns backing up Roberto Durán.
Well, Durán is making a mistake, Tim, of standing straight up. He's fighting a tall guy. He should get lower. He's not going to be able to reach up to Hearns. He's got to slip the punches, get underneath him. Can't get his head moved back with that jab, or he's really going to get nailed.
Under a minute to go, and Durán slipped. However, there is blood over the left eye of Roberto Durán. A slice, it looks like it's on the eyelids in the corner of the left eye of Roberto Durán. And Hearns is backing Roberto Durán up at will. A solid right, and down goes Durán. Durán is on the canvas and looks stunned. Gets to his feet, but he's staggering.
He's hurt.
Approaching the 22nd.
Let's look at that first knockdown, Tim. Here's Roberto Durán standing straight as a stick right in front of Tommy Hearns. Hearns is measuring him now, weaves a little bit, and bang, right on the chin with a good right hand.
Tremendous shot by Thomas Hearns, and the immediate mark remaining when we're in round number 1.
He's bothered by that cut eye, Tim. He's very seldom ever been cut in a fight.
Hearns lands a combination, and Durán waving at him to come at him, but meanwhile taking punishment. Down he goes again.
That's going to save him, Tim. By the fact that he went down, the bell is going to ring.
Got quickly to his feet at the end of the first round, knocking him back into the ropes, and Durán goes down one more time in this first round.
Tim, he knows he hasn't hurt barely, and he's going for going caution to the wind and just throwing punches and bunches. Durán is really in trouble now, Tim, leaning back, trying to get away. Where can he hide? He can't. Those punches are coming fast as lightning. A tremendous body punch, another body punch lifts him right off his feet, Tim.
We're now into round number 2. Thomas Hearns was quickly to the center of the ring. A cut on the left eyelid of Roberto Durán. Whether Durán can survive the knockdowns of round 1. Remain to be seen. He looks still a little wobbly to me, Gil.
He's still straight up in the air, Tim. You have to get low when you fight a fighter like Tommy Hearns.
Good left and a right behind it by the champion. Durán in trouble again in his corner. Has not hung on at all. Now finally he grabs Hearns. Hearns got several free shots with Roberto.
He's wobbly, Tim. His legs are still wobbly.
Just trying to cover up. Another solid right hand by Thomas Hearns in the combination. The referee Padilla watching.
There he's up in the air again.
Durán just fighting on instinct, though, Gil. He's just hanging a big right hand.
That's it, Tim. Anytime you fall forward, the fight's over, Tim.
A huge right hand by Thomas Hearns. Right to the cheekbone of Roberto Durán, and it is all over. A second round knockout for the hitman, Thomas Hearns, who said he would knock out Durán in 2, and he did just that.
He sure did, Tim. We've said so many times before, a fighter can go into the ring and he can age overnight. And that's exactly what happened to Roberto Durán.
Staring at each other through the national anthem. They stare down, of course, so customary before these fights. And here we go, round one. Hagler, right off the bat, attempting to get inside. He'd love to be able to pin Hearns on the ropes if he can.
A more aggressive start by Hagler. Look at him, right for the body. Marvin Hagler only wants the body, and he bangs Marvin. Oh, Hearns may have hurt him with a right hand.
Hearns hurt another right. Hearns hits him with an uppercut. Hagler,
He's hurt.
is hurt. Hagler is stunned. Hearns got inside. So it was Hagler coming out like a bull, and a good left by Hagler, but Hearns didn't flinch. Marvin going for the body. Wild first round.
Wow, what a shock. And it was Hagler who initiated it, not Thomas Hearns.
On a left by Hagler. Hearns comes back. Another right. That one stunned Hearns.
Tommy Hearns has been able to drop that right hand in, and it has hurt Hagler, a surprise to many people.
Another right hand from Hearns. Hagler still pursuing, comes in with a right, missing with a left hook.
Here's where I believe Hagler should turn to righty. He could block that right hand easier, and he would land his own left hook.
Swelling near Hagler's left eye. Again, Tommy trying to come inside the hands of Hagler.
Low blow by Hearns. Hagler still looking for the body.
A right by Hagler. Good right got in. He has Hearns where he'd love to keep him on the ropes, but Tommy comes off easily. Another good right by Hearns.
Hagler is now shaking those right hands off, though, Al. He was stunned a little early, and he's normally a slow starter.
He's also bleeding. Hagler is cut. Hagler is cut. Bridge of the nose.
He is taking shots to the head.
He blocks that right. Hearns tries to come in with the uppercut, and Hagler ties him up with a minute to go. Marvin with a good left hand.
There's blood all over Marvin Hagler's face. Can't tell where it's coming from.
I thought it started from the bridge of the nose originally, but blood all over the face of Hagler here in round one. But Hagler has him on the rope. Hagler working on him. Hagler relentless, but Hearns trying to box his way out. Half a minute to go in round one. How far can this one go? Not very far at this pace.
This is where Hagler wants him, but Hearns counterpunching off those ropes fairly effectively.
Tremendous first round. Hagler pinning him to the ropes, working on him, but Hearns uppercutting again. Hagler bloody. A tremendous, sensational first round as Hearns gets hurt. Hearns got stunned. Hagler was stunned early in the round. Great first round.
Wow.
Incredible. Well, the first round lived up to all the hype, and then some. Round two now.
Oh.
The glove. Left hand by Hagler. A wild first round. Hearns again trying to uppercut. Hearns trying to box. Moving. Slipping off the ropes. Coming back and trying to land that right.
They are yelling, keep boxing, Tommy, from his corner, and that looks like what he's going to try and do in this fight.
For the first time, Hagler switching, gets in with a left hand. This round sort of the way people anticipated the first round might go. Another right hand stuns Hearns. Has been able to get into Hearns, more so than I think most people expected.
For one simple reason, good left hook by Hagler. He took the best Hearns could offer, and he did come in. He's getting through that right hand. Hagler has fought most of this round as a righty. Now he switches southpaw and lands. Not as effective as a righty as I thought, but now as a southpaw, the jab lands well. Boy, Hearns looks awkward, and his legs look like they're not there.
A little rubbery here in round two. Tommy, though, fluid and moving. Trying to get inside. Again, the cut opens up over Hagler's forehead. And the blood begins to trickle down. Hagler working inside, now up top. Half a minute to go in round two.
What a left.
Hearns trading with him. Hagler comes back to the right or left, and another right. Hagler wants to keep him there, goes to the body.
Hagler throws low blows. Marvin Hagler wants to turn this into an alley war, and he's done it. Another low blow. Richard Steele may take points away soon, but will it matter?
Second round coming to an end. Hagler bloody, but very much unbound.
Well, he turns righty. He wants it to be a street fight. Listen, Marvin Hagler has been rough inside. He's thrown some low blows. He has thrown some elbows.
Don't push.
But you know what? Now the right is getting there, but it's not hurting Hagler. We've got our answer, I think, to some extent. And now, just as we thought might happen, Tommy Hearns was hurt early, so he is boxing. Now, he has good boxing skills. He did this against Sugar Ray.
as he again becomes off balance. Some thought that if Hearns stayed outside and stayed on his bicycle, it would become a dull fight with Marvin chasing him. Hagler with a wild left hand. It has to be impeding his vision with the right eye. You never know it though. Tremendous right.
Hearns is smiling, but he's taking shots.
Another right hand. Hearns turns his back, takes another right. Hearns in deep trouble again. Hearns is down. Hearns is down in the third round and on his back, and he's not going to beat the count. I don't believe. Tommy Hearns tries to get up, and
They've got to stop this fight.
Does he get up? He just doesn't know. He can't get. Different angle again now. Right hand from Hagler. And Hearns at that point finished. Off balance and stumbling. And so the man from Brockton, Massachusetts may finally get the respect that he feels he deserves. And Tommy, of course, very disappointed and frustrated as Marvin Hagler, marvelous Marvin Hagler, the legal name, retains the undisputed.
First round is going to be the most important round of the fight. He says he has to win the first round and gain Marvel's respect. Let's see if he can do it. And here we go.
Part of the closed-door strategy this week on the part of Hagler may well have been to work on this. Coming out at the beginning of the fight, opposite his normal weigh-in. Sugar Ray Leonard throws the first punch of the fight. They are the tabbed variety with the thumbs attached to the body of the glove.
First punch by Hagler. Clean miss. Nice combination by Leonard.
Leonard has used all of this more than 21-foot ring so far. A brief flurry, no damage. Hagler content to cut off the ring, and Leonard with right hand.
Good right, solid right hand by Leonard. And now Hagler's boxing southpaw. Tough to keep up with these guys. There's the shots.
Combination by Leonard. Final seconds of round one.
He's much better as a southpaw, and yet he's fighting orthodox. I don't know why.
Just landed a left hook lead. Well, that may be only a matter of time until he makes the switch, but it is a good question. I think each of them trying to gain that psychological edge.
Even psychology good for a minute to make sure you win the round. Looking right hand by Leonard. Snapping that punch from Leonard. I think Marvin is making a mistake. He's trying to prove that he can outbox Leonard. It's not necessary. Just try to win the fight. And therefore, Ray has done a psych job on him. Starting to hold early in the fight.
Hagler may feel correctly that Leonard couldn't keep that up for too long.
Watching Leonard in camp, he couldn't handle southpaws. Right hand by Leonard, combination to the body by Hagler.
30-second mark in round two. Good counter punch by Leonard as a lunging fist by Hagler. Hagler now pulls him for the first time in the fight. And Leonard punched his way out of that clinch.
Another combination by Leonard.
Left landed by Hagler. His first heavy punch of the fight.
Much better as a southpaw, Tim. That's why I don't understand him giving Leonard the first 2 rounds.
They are Dave Moretti, Luke Filippo, and Jose Guerra. Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and Monterrey, Mexico. Right hand lead landed by Leonard.
Just a glancing blow. He's moving right into a straight left hand.
Body shots by Leonard.
And Hagler outpunched him in that exchange.
Right hand out of the clinch from Sugar Ray Leonard.
But that was significant, Tim, because Leonard was able to push the supposedly stronger Hagler back. Starting to breathe heavy.
Leonard continues to put a lot of miles on those new sneakers.
Good combination by Leonard, Tim. Right hand, left hook.
Round number 4, both fighters on their feet early, but the stools were not out of the ring. Left-hand lead scored by Hagler. Real sense of purpose on his face now, as there should be.
You know, Tim, we say that the ring is square, it's not round. But so far, Hagler has not been able to put Ray on the ropes or trap him in a corner. Richard Steele scored a couple of points for Leonard.
Oh, low blow. And a hard low blow.
Straight left hand by Hagler.
Got the left hand, not a lot on it, but he scored it. Confidence seeming to build as each second of the fight ticks away.
Good body shots by Hagler, though, Tim. They're hard punches.
He's got to land them. A little showboat punch from Leonard. That brought the crowd alive, many of them to their feet. Good combination again. Leonard timing things perfectly.
I don't know why Hagler's laughing, Tim. The rounds are going in the bank.
Landed a left there. Leonard walking away contemptuously. Good right hand by Leonard. Hagler trying to pull him into the corner, but Leonard will not go.
Looks like Leonard is starting to find the range more with his right hand. There it is again.
Right hand uppercut lead, and it landed.
He's now, Leonard is fighting up. Tim, he's looking to nail Hagler. Got nailed himself that time with that right hook.
Hagler still talking. Leonard would hope it's in frustration.
In the Mugabe fight, Hagler turned completely around when he missed, but Mugabe didn't make him pay. He said, I'm going to make him pay. And you see how he jumped on him then?
Left hook by Leonard.
Hagler's starting to get the range a little bit now, though, Tim.
Finally got him in the corner, landed a left.
Seemed like it's just was starting to get the range.
The conditioning of these two athletes is extraordinary.
Hagler's
A solid right by Hagler.
He's starting to get the range, Tim. You can just see it. You know?
Leonard stopped on the ropes for the first time in the fight.
And hit a couple of good body punches. Now he's punching back, but Hagler, Tim, he doesn't belong in there.
Into the round.
Tim, I think this is a key round. Has to be a key round. If Hagler can win this round, he's right back in the fight. But if Ray wins it, it's going to be a long way uphill for Marvin.
Hagler had to make something happen in the 5th round, having given the first 4 to Leonard, and he did. We scored the last one for Hagler.
And so did Angelo Dundee.
You can hear that in the corner. Good combinations there by Hagler, counterpunching well. Better timing. We can see that near the end of the 5th round.
And Hagler's banging to the body, Tim. 3 solid body punches. Tim, Ray Leonard has already proved what a great fighter he is.
Great movement there. That was some of the old Sugar Ray. And a right-hand lead landed.
There's nothing on the punches, Tim.
Short punches inside by Ray. Hagler looking a little arm weary as Ray is right there to be hit. Now Leonard punches back. 30 seconds to go. Round number 6. Final seconds of the 6th round.
Even when Leonard misses, Hagler's having trouble counting. But he landed a couple of good solid punches in that exchange.
On the other hand, Ray has also slowed his footwork pace, but he landed a good left hook, and he got one back from Hagler.
Solid punches by Hagler.
Hagler finding the range, and Ray more flat-footed here, now backed up into the Hagler corner. And Hagler just keeps plodding ahead as his workmanlike style.
Those are the solid punches.
Yep.
Those are the solid punches. He has Ray in a little trouble now.
Bang into the body. Uppercut scored at the bell. They don't hear the bell. A 12-round middleweight championship bout. that has more than lived up to its billing, no matter what the outcome now.
Good solid right jab by Hagler, Tim. That's almost like a straight right hand when he hits you with it.
And as you pointed out in the first couple of rounds, unlike many of boxing's observers, Hagler never said this would be an easy fight.
To set everything else up. He hasn't been using that as yet. He's thrown out wide.
Right hand jab starting to land now.
And they're stiff. They're not just little jabs. They're stiff. Good right hook.
Right over the glove. Leonard bidding to become one of only 10 boxers to win 3 titles in 3 different weight divisions.
I can't believe Leonard's legs, Tim. Moving beautifully. Hagler's able to move right through him. Leonard hit him with a right hand, didn't move him. He was able to counter with a left hand to the body. You know, Tim, all these fights have ebbs and flows. Now, Leonard was very tired before. He may be getting his second win, and Hagler may be getting a little tired.
Could be a telling round in that respect.
Vicious body punch by Hagler, though, Tim. Flashy combination, but only one of the punches landed. And then he can throw the other punches. But he looks for openings. By the time he looks, Leonard's gone.
Again, Leonard flat-footed on the rope, but Hagler not getting much done.
He's trying to hit the head. The body doesn't move. Just bang to the body. Nice combination by Ray.
There's a solid.
That was the best punch of the fight.
Hagler straight down the middle.
Best punch of the fight. For Hagler.
Right to the chin.
That's where he has to put that left hand.
Leonard in some difficulty. Hasn't thrown a punch out of this corner. Now he does. Trying to bang his way out.
Look at that determination of Ray Leonard. You talk about a champion.
What a display.
Absolutely gritted his teeth. Look at him go.
Again, in the middle of the ring. And Hagler stays there and punches back. A right by Leonard. And then Sugar Ray Leonard coming out of the corner where he had just had his hands up to protect himself, and then...
What a display, Tim. You talk about a champion, but he's got that solid rock to move, and Hagler just keeps methodically moving forward.
Trading over there on the far side. Again, Hagler gets the best of it, but Leonard just keeps firing. Not often you can build something as the super fight and expect to get one. We've already had it here.
Marvin takes too long to get that straight left hand off. He never throws a straight left hand to the body. Throws it wide. Should be straight. There it is, wide again to the body. Those uppercuts of Marvin's started to land now, Tim. Short little uppercuts. They Cuddy Petronelli told him to use in the corner.
He has scored the bulk of the scoring punches in the last few seconds.
Beautiful combination by Leonard. He just walks away. Tim, I think it's getting to the point where Hagler's going to have to land a couple of big, solid punches.
Good flurry by Leonard.
Richard Steele is doing a good job as a referee, Tim.
Sure, he didn't expect to see Leonard still here in the 10th round.
Richard Steele continues to warn Ray Leonard for holding, Tim. Now, after a few warnings, you have to do something about it, besides warning.
I don't think we're going to see a point taken away from either of these fighters.
Hagler is just so slow getting off. Unbelievable.
Wild miss on a trick play by Leonard, and he paid for it because Hagler tagged him. Leonard has never been able to back up Hagler in this fight, even in the rounds in which he scored 3 judges at ringside.
Tim, I think Marvin is going to have to win these 2 rounds to retain his title, and he's going to have to land some big punches.
Dave Moretti from Las Vegas, Lou Filippo from Los Angeles. And
so slow getting off, Hagler. He's got the shot. Beautiful combination by Leonard. As Angelo told him, he said, come back with the hook, and he sure did. Another left hook by Leonard.
Right hand lead from Hagler, and Leonard escapes off the rope. He lands a combination.
and moved
Hagler.
away. Beautiful move by Leonard. Tim, he has Hagler tamed now, Tim. Oh, good straight left hand by Hagler.
And look at Leonard just able to pick up the punches, move his head, and escape most of them. And Leonard flurries against Hagler, and now escapes from the corner.
No knockout.
Leonard in the corner at the end of this fight, but on his feet.
115, Marvin Hagler. 113, Ray Leonard. Judge Jojo Guerra scores the bout. 118, Leonard. 110, Hagler. And Judge Dave Moretti scores 115, 113. By the winner, by a split decision, and new middleweight champion of the world, Ray Leonard.
An historic boxing match about to begin. Leonard in the striped red and white trunks, waiting for Hearns in the middle of the ring in gold.
And Leonard is starting this fight the same way he did the first fight, side to side, moving around, which is a surprise to me. You know, Marv, I don't like that dragging jab when Leonard throws that jab to the body either.
Well, he's got something he's up his sleeve for.
Good defense by Leonard on the right hand from Hearns. He blocked it. Wild swinging left from the taller Hearns, ducking under it. Right hand scored by Leonard.
Hearns seems a little tight.
You know, Emmanuel Stewart said that's going to be the key.
Right hand try by Hearns. Right hand just short from Hearns. Had the opening, but Leonard pulled his head back.
Well, he's trying to sucker Tommy in so he can throw the right hand.
Good left scored by Leonard. His best punch of the fight thus far. Final seconds, round 2.
You can see Leonard trying to use all kinds of sight.
Now,
That was tough.
Leonard switching to southpaw, and he got tagged by Tommy Hearns.
Every time Ray starts to make any kind of a move at all, Tommy pops that left hand up. He's keeping Leonard right at the range he wants him in, right in his moment. Again, he's popping and scoring points, Tim.
Little short with it. Did land it, but Leonard picked it up.
Well, he may be aiming for
Big right hand. Right to the jaw of Leonard. Leonard took it, but it was a big shot. And another one sends him down. The right hand to the ear of Leonard. It was the short right hand. Let's go back and see the knockdown.
All right, here's Tommy's painting. Beautiful, followed in, and it was on the top of the head, Tim. Looked like a punch that almost missed.
Right, that's the one that sent him to the canvas, but it was a clean right before that that really did the damage. Not the one that knocked him down. He was stunned. He tried to pretend that he wasn't hurt, but he was already shaken.
Exactly what has happened. He's being an actor.
That's the right hand you're talking about, Tim. They both threw right hands. Again, that was a chopping punch.
That's the one.
But Tommy knew he hurt him.
You can see Ray here try to act like it didn't hurt him, and it wasn't much of a punch that sent him down. But it did. Hearns bangs the hook to the body. Trying to gather himself, not punching.
You got to stay on top of Leonard right now. That's what Hearns has to do.
I think Tommy's taking a little too much time.
Too much time. Too much
Landed
time.
a left to the...
Tommy shouldn't let him relax so much like this.
Overhand right, missed by Leonard. Right back from Hearns, not much on it.
Again, Leonard is trying to punch too hard, Tim.
Right hand.
Timing is not there.
Landed by Hearns, right to the body, back from Leonard.
Well, he was very successful using that left hand. I just keep using that left hand all night. Make Ray reach and then nail him when he reaches.
He's waiting for Tommy to jab so he can counter.
We'll have to take the confidence out of the eyes of Thomas Hearns because it's apparent right now.
He said he wasn't motivated against Kitchen. He certainly looks like a different fighter.
There's that overhand right tried by Leonard.
That could be a bad mistake because Leonard's looking for that. Tommy should fight him, and that's the way to fight him. So Leonard knows he's got to fight him.
Short right landed by Hearns. Now bangs to the arms of Tommy Hearns.
Leonard landed some good body shots. Just got Leonard's respect.
Yeah, but it was on the end of the punch.
Right, but it makes Leonard think about it, though.
Well, he knows that he's in there with a fight now.
Gil, what about Correa's instructions to Ray Leonard? Tried to wing that overhand right again. Hearns fires back, scores a right of his own. Leonard's going to try to land that overhand right. He's seen it frequently. Final seconds of round 4. We have scored the first 4 on our cards for Tommy Hearns, including a knockdown in round 3 and a close round 4.
Right now is when he should go to work.
Short right landed inside by Hearns. Right hand by Hearns, landed, and a left hook drops Hearns. Leonard after him. Leonard, Hearns trying to tie him up, and he does.
There's that left hook of Ray Leonard's. It's the same one that hurt him in the first fight. Kept waiting for him to throw that left hook, and he nailed him with it. He got inside. Now he's close.
Just beat him to the punch.
When he's close, that's when he can do his damage. And once he hurts you, he's a great finisher.
The right and left combination. There's the right. The left wobbling. Hearns refused to go down. It landed in the ropes. Leonard attacking him, but Hearns surviving. One more look at it. We're in the 5th.
Well, you know right now.
Another right hand on the chin. Tommy's fighting back.
Overhand right. Hearns fires a right hand back, but he's reluctant to tie up Leonard.
Leonard's using a lot of energy, Tim.
Hearns just covering up. Right hand landed again by Leonard. Hearns covering up. Leonard trying to find an opening.
Tim Hearns is not out of it yet.
No, he's not.
Here's solid punches by Leonard.
Leonard to the body. Right hand right down the pipe on another.
Hearns has got to fight back.
He is fighting back.
Left to the body and a right.
Nice,
A left scored by Hearns. Short with the right hand is Leonard. Jab by Leonard, not much on it. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Gil Clancy. There's a good left by Hearns. You can hear the impact. Right hand blocked by Leonard.
Blowing a decision because he just is not busy enough. Looking for the one big punch.
Good jab by Hearns. Good one back from Leonard.
Mouth is wide open.
Giving Leonard time to figure out a plan, and so Leonard's going to come up with a good combination.
And Leonard ducked under a right hand from Hearns, but takes a left on the next exchange.
I know if I was in Tommy Hearns' corner, I have him feinting that jab and hooking to the body.
What's he doing? Why is he standing there without punching? That's when Leonard gets off.
Tommy was stalking him, but he wasn't moving his hands. He said, we came to fight this guy, let's fight him.
Round 7, a short right landed by Hearns. First exchange.
Leonard starts flurrying and starts throwing punches. Hearns will stand there and cover up.
Hearns picking up the pace, bangs to the body. Leonard trying to block punches, but not punching back. Hearns driving him along the ropes, a combination. Here's the early part of the round where Hearns was knocking Leonard all along the ropes, and Ray didn't really take any damaging blows, but he didn't punch back at all. So Hearns certainly got scoring points there, and there was the best punch was that right you saw right there.
Exactly.
Good
Tommy's
right
got
to
the
the
left hook right here.
There it is.
And throw it again. Throw it again. This is where Tommy sits there, and that's how Ray gets off.
Left and a right from Leonard. Short with a right hand back from Hearns at land.
Shows that it looks like Leonard's a little weak right now, Tim.
Goes to the body and connects.
Vicious body punches by Sugar Ray.
Hearns jabbing back, but the body blows of Leonard now push Hearns away. Under 30 seconds to go, round 7. Hearns boxing, you heard Stewart say at the end of the round, go out and fight him.
This is where you give Ray that time.
Right hand landed.
Seems every time he starts to unload, he gets the best of it.
Under a minute to go in round number 8. 4 rounds cleanly.
See, we wait for Tommy to pick up.
It was a push, but Ray's legs didn't hold him very well, Tim.
Final seconds of round 8.
Well, he's looking to land that one big punch, and he's been looking from the opening bell.
Low blow.
He's trying to show Tommy that he's got bigger, I think, that he can punch.
Right hand counter landed by Hearns.
And Leonard landed a right hand too, Tim.
That one hurt Tommy.
Short right scored by Leonard,
right
and a left and a right.
He can't fight from outside. Big right hand by Tommy Hearns.
A good one right to the chin of Leonard. Didn't move him, but it was a tough left hook back from
See
Leonard.
him drop his right hand. Tommy dropped his right hand, and that was his downfall.
There's the left hook that staggered Tommy Hearns. Blocked the next two, but he was still wobbly.
All right, Ray feels that he hurt him in the last round, Tim, and he's right on him. And this is where Tommy doesn't belong.
Right there. Leonard's right in front of him, and he's not getting off.
Now Leonard has the distance. Hearns is letting him have the distance.
Leonard's jab starting to take effect.
Well, because he's getting a little closer. Tommy's not pumping that jab anymore.
And the Hearns legs don't look so good. A left to the neck.
What you waiting?
Counter right missed. A little cut under the left eye of Thomas Hearns. That's where the blood is.
Insignificant, Tim.
Insignificant. No damage there. No serious problem.
Nice.
Good, solid left.
Let's see if Tommy allows Ray to get within punching range. It's almost like allowing him. He doesn't have to allow. He can pump that jab. Tommy's not countering back.
Tommy's got to stay in the middle of the ring.
Short uppercut and a good left back from Leonard. Tim Ryan with Marvin Hagler, Gil Clancy in round 11 of the scheduled 12-round championship bout. Hearns, Leonard 2. There's a right by Hearns.
Big right hand by Tommy Hearns.
Another one. And a left. Down goes Leonard with a combination from Hearns. Leonard looks hurt. Gets up, but he is hurting. Let's see that knockdown. A right that hurt him. Little delay. Missed with a left.
I believe it was the left hook.
There's another right hand and a left hook and a right behind that. And 3 punches. Cumulative effect sending Leonard down.
All right, take another look at it. There's the first right hand. That wobbled him. Missed the other one. Missed the hook to the body. And then there's another good right hand left hook. And the final right hand, and down he goes.
Hearns after him, a left to the body. Leonard firing back.
We just got to make sure Leonard don't get that rest. You got to use it. There you go.
Hearns counters with a right, but the ability they've shown here to struggle into the 11th round firing bombs has really been remarkable.
Pump his jab and coast home.
Well, he's got 2 knockdowns on the scorecard, too. We've got him ahead handily.
And look at Ray bang him
Ray
back.
bangs him back, a good left hook.
Big mistake to count Ray Leonard out of this fight. There's a right hand by Leonard.
Right hand shot from Leonard. And bangs inside.
And Tommy's a little tired.
Fight it, Marvin. He smiled.
He smiled, tried to say, come on, we friends.
Right. Hearns after him.
That's something he doesn't have to do.
Well, he is a gallant guy trying to put him away. Look at Hearns wail away.
And do you notice the way Hearns...
Right hand by Leonard.
Both guys landed right hands, Tim.
Hearns is waiting to get back in.
Another right hand, backing Leonard into Hearns into the rope.
Supposed to break him. Leonard did not break that time. He's slick. Marv, you know that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Here he goes. Come on, Tommy.
Leonard rallying, backs up Hearns again, but Hearns fires back.
Tommy's getting a lot smarter, but
Tommy's right on the ropes now where he shouldn't be.
Left hook landed by Leonard.
And Tommy has nothing left.
Leonard in desperation now trying to put his man
have to
away.
watch the clock now, Tim. Tommy has nothing left.
Right hand by Leonard and Hearns in difficulty along the ropes. Another combination. Punching back, but he's wide open. Leonard firing away. Could we see a replay of 1981?
Not know how to do before.
So he's backing up on that rope again, and that's where Leonard wants you so he can flourish. He's got to punch back.
Leonard giving it everything, and Hearns trying to punch back.
There was the big left hook by Leonard.
See, Leonard knows the last 30 seconds.
Leonard to the body and now up to the head. Hearns punching back, but no effect. The crowd is on its feet. What a war!
What a fight!
Tommy Kazmarek scores it 113 to 112 for Sugar Ray Leonard. And Dalby Shirley scores the bout 112, 112. This bout is a draw, ladies and gentlemen.
The bout is a draw. Round number 1.
Looks in good shape, Marvin. He hasn't landed a punch as yet.
Well, that one there, the first. The right hand to the side of Leonard's head. A good left back from Leonard.
Both guys in good condition.
Left to the body by Duran. Combination scored by Leonard.
Well, that's what you're going to see from Ray Leonard.
Body shot from Leonard, the best of that exchange.
But as you know, you cannot let Leonard get the lead in the beginning of the fights. So I would suspect that Duran would have to throw some punches.
Well, he is getting the range a little bit now, Tim. A little low by Roberto.
Left hook lead.
In the second fight, here he is side to side again. And Roberto hasn't changed his pattern one bit.
Well, I think Roberto knows that he's got to get Leonard to come to him on the throw punches.
But now when they got into a punching exchange, Roberto is going to have to nail Ray with a big punch, slow him down a little bit.
Counter right by Duran. Left caught Duran leaning.
Well, what's funny, well, Leonard's been knocked down twice, and Duran's been knocked out. So they both should have some kind of confidence that knowing that one of them can go.
And
low blow from Leonard. First connecting jab from Duran, not much on it.
Leonard's fought him before, so he kind of felt very comfortable. He's trying to put all these things together right now against Duran. And he's got Duran hesitating.
Right hand by Duran.
Started it with a left hook and landed the right behind it. Into round number 5.
You know, this may help. The fact that Leonard is bleeding may help Duran psychologically, because Leonard was playing games with his mind and throw those combinations. Now you can hear the crowd again, Duran, Duran.
That it tightens you up.
Very little offensive movement on Ray Leonard's part at the moment.
Well, Duran's looked like he's been concentrating more on the body. And as again, you can see both guys are missing shots that they never would have missed before.
Ray is very, very hesitant. I think he's very conscious of that cut lip.
Yeah, it's bothering him. Look at the holder behind the head.
Leonard circled out of the corner easily. Now Duran sits in there, hoping to
nice
draw him in.
combination by Leonard. Good left hook.
Good left hook. Good right
Another
uppercut.
left. So Duran gambled there and lost, and now Leonard picks up the pace. A good left and a right behind it.
And he thinks he has Duran hurt. Well, I told you, Tim, that he's settled down eventually, and he has.
Duran trying to tie him up.
This is what Duran wants to fight, but he's not doing nothing. This is the right way to fight, Leonard. Now you give Leonard this much rest back.
Right hand by Leonard. A left to the body. Counter from Duran. That got Ray's attention.
He nailed Duran with another right hand.
And then the bolo here, punching on the break. And a right hand lead
by Leonard. And Duran is not punching back.
About the refereeing. And there's the bolo with...
But that was a foul.
It appears that Eddie Aliana, the cut man, has done a good job in stopping the flow of blood inside the mouth of Ray Leonard. None apparent here in round 7.
Well, Eddie Aliana is one of the best in the business.
Well, Leonard gets in trouble now when he stops in that and stays there too long.
Now a little blood again from the mouth of Ray Leonard.
Right here is where you shouldn't let Leonard get that rest.
Duran throw one punch and grab, and Leonard out punches him again.
Good combination by Leonard, snapping the head back of Duran. Showing the age as one would expect he would at age 38, but he summoned up quite a lot at age 37 against Barkley.
Big right hand by Sugar Ray Leonard. The thing that's keeping him from jumping on him is every time Ray feints a punch, Duran stops.
But he's not cutting the ring off on Ray at all.
He gets him in front of him, Marv, but what happens, again, he respects Ray's punching power. There's another right hand by Ray Leonard. He just has Roberto Duran's number tonight.
Yeah, he's fought him before. They know each other. Now Duran, you know, he crosses over on his feet. And that's when they try to catch him. When Leonard switches back to the other side, Duran is stuck on that side.
Leonard backs into the rope and is willing to flurry there. Got the better of it.
For maybe if it goes long rounds.
Final seconds of the 8th, the body attack from Leonard.
Duran should not be waiting.
I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Now Duran, planning there, lands a combination of the body.
That was the best punches that Duran has thrown all night. Because Duran should be concentrating more on Leonard's body. He's concentrating on his head. Watch Duran when he tries to get out of the way. See, there you go. That's it. Because Duran is rocking.
Well, what he does is Leonard puts you to sleep, then nails you with a few punches, wins the round, and that's all he has. There he is again.
Now Leonard driving Duran back into the rope.
Perfect fight plan for Sugar Ray Leonard.
Duran on the ropes and Leonard in command, and now draws him out as the bell ends. Round number 9.
And he regained a little bit of something back.
I don't agree with that, Marvin. I think he thought he could win this fight, but Leonard has discouraged him.
And Leonard is banging him right hands to the ribs, and there's that left hook after showing him the right hand. Well, that's it. Then there's the right hand again.
That's the punch that Leonard's corner was teaching him to throw.
Again, Roberto's not going to land the big punch unless he takes chances.
Come on, work it. All that
That's the answer.
Okay, let's be honest.
Nice double left hook by Sugar Ray Leonard. And the crowd is reacting.
And Leonard, that's where Leonard wants to keep him.
Combination landed by Duran, but Leonard just fired back on his own, scored just as well. He took a couple of shots from Duran. They didn't seem to disturb him in any way.
Takes chances, Ray. Way ahead in the fight and really reached with that right hand.
He wants to come right at him now and take him out of here.
He's winning the round, but again, as they told him to forget the crowd, just win the fight.
Well, the fight's not over yet, and you can't get too overconfident.
Ooh, big right hand by Leonard.
Right, Duran, and Leonard's eye is cut.
Leonard's right on the eye, Tim. It was a right hand by Roberto Durán that opened that cut.
Switching from southpaw to right-handed.
And Durán is mugging. Durán should be punching, not mugging.
Well, this fight's going to be over.
Final seconds. That's it.
And still, WBC Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Sugar Ray Leonard.